Good night, everyone. Welcome to another class meeting. In tonight's episode, we're going to be looking at Unit 2 from our science workbook, and we're looking at simple and complex machines.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so on page 12, we start off with simple and complex machines,
Yes, sir.
and it says, when you need to move an object, you might need tools to help you. So it says here, machine. What does it say?
Machines are tools or devices which are apply a force.
All right, stop. So first thing, when you use the machine or tool, you're applying a force.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to wait until that person who is moving stops moving. Shanice, your background is noisy.
Yes.
We're wasting valuable time here. So yes, so we say the following things will happen. It will make work easier,
Change the direction of
our force, and increase the speed with which work is done. All right.
Yes, sir.
So those are some of the things that can happen. Clear on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We move on. It says all machines, no matter how complicated, are made from a variation of simple machines. Simple machines have, and pay attention, few or no moving parts. The types of simple machines are levers,
Wheels, and
and
axles,
axles, pulleys, inclined plates.
flat plates, wedges, and screws.
All right. Now we have the lever. And the lever has three main parts. The three main parts are one, the fulcrum.
Effort.
Hold on for me, Roger. We have the fulcrum, the point on which the lever is supported or turns. That's where the turning takes place. We have the effort, the part on which the force is exerted by pushing or pulling. And we have the resistance or the load. So if you go into exam and you see them talking about resistance when they're talking about a lever, it is the same thing as the what? As the load. Okay. Now it says, although the levers have all the three parts can be arranged in different places. So they're not always going to be in the same place. So let's look at this. We have the first class lever, and it has the fulcrum between the load and the effort. So we said the fulcrum is in the middle. Okay. Second class lever, it has the load between the effort and the fulcrum. All right, that's a second class lever. And for the third class lever, we have the what?
In the load and the fulcrum.
All right.
The load and the fulcrum.
I can hear somebody's background quite clearly. Please don't have your phone on speaker because we're going to hear ourselves, all right? We're going to slow down what we do. All right, so just make sure that you're using a headphone if possible, an earphone rather, and you have that there so, you know, it helps us out. All right, ready again. So if we look at the first class lever, we have like a crowbar, okay? Using a crowbar, we have the wheelbarrow as an example of the second class lever, and we have the shovel as an example of the third class lever. Now this is a song that we made up from lessons, right? It says FLE 1, 2, 3. Again, FLE 1, 2, 3. If the fulcrum's in the middle, it's a first class lever. If the load is in the middle, it's a second class lever. And if the effort's in the middle, it's a third class lever. FLE again, 1, 2, 3. All right. FLE 1, 2, 3. All right, stop. So if the fulcrum is in the middle, what kind of lever is it?
First class.
If the load is in the middle, what type of lever is it?
Second.
Class. And if the effort is in the middle, it's a what?
Third class.
Third class lever. So again, match them up. FLE meaning fulcrum, load, effort. And 1, 2, 3.
Yes, sir.
Come on, guys, we can't blow in the phone like that. Other people are listening, man. All right. So let's go back now. So we have levers in the body. We have different
classes of levers.
Different classes. The head has the fulcrum. The joint between the head and the backbone. The load would be the head, and the effort would be the muscles at the back of the neck. We have the foot, fulcrum, the toes, load the body, and the muscles.
The leg. Ow.
Awesome.
Sir, somebody's background is noisy.
Yeah, so trying to see who it is and come on, guys. If we don't cooperate, then I'm going to have to, send people out. Already again. So we have the arm. We have the fulcrum being the elbow, the load being the arm, and the bicep muscles in the upper arm would be the effort. All right. So note this now. It says equal weights balance at equal distance from the fulcrum. So if both people on the seesaw here weigh the same amount, they will come to balance at equidistance from the fulcrum, meaning equal distance from the fulcrum. However, what does it say? If the balance is unequal, the greater or heavier weight must be one that is moved closer to the fulcrum in order to maintain balance. All right. Let me see if I can find two people from my class to use now. So let us think about Desrika. We know that Desrika is big in body, right? But we have somebody small like Anthony or Kezia. Very good. Kezia is a better example. So if we were to put both of those individuals based on their frame, if we were to put both of them on the seesaw, would it balance?
No, sir.
No. If both of them are sitting at the same distance at the on the seat, it would not balance because Desrika has a bigger frame. It's going to go down on Desrika's side. Okay, and poor little Kezia would be in the air forever. But if we wanted them to enjoy the seesaw, what would we need to do? Move Desrika closer to the fulcrum. To the fulcrum. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's go over now to wheels and axle. The wheel and axle is a simple machine that has a center rod attached to a wheel. Right? It's a special kind of lever that does what?
Objects.
That move or turns. So some of us don't see, but the door knob is a wheel and an axle. Even if it has like a straight piece, it would be one spoke in a wheel. All right. And then we have the rod that goes through the door and goes out the other side. All right. Note. Go down to the note section. The wheel by itself is not a simple machine. It's a special kind of roller. The wheel becomes a simple machine when it is what? Combined with an axle. All right. So let's go over to gears on page 14. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Page 14 now.
Yes.
So we see that we have gears, right?
Yes.
And the gears are special types of wheels that have jagged teeth, and the teeth
Leg.
interlock in pairs. And all of us know about gears because all of us have seen bicycles before, and we know that we have gears on the bicycle.
Yes, sir.
So here we have the bicycle, we have the wheel. The time I'm stopping is because somebody's, background is just totally out of whack. Ready again. We have people moving in somebody's background. Try to go in a place that is very quiet so that we can get the best out of it as quickly as is possible. All right.
Yes, sir.
So we have the bicycle, we have the gears on it that help us to do what? Increase the speed of the bicycle. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So gears can be found in what? Bicycles,
Yes, sir.
cars, egg beaters, and
Many
many
other.
other complex machines.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let us move over now to a pulley. Now it says a pulley is a what? Is a
Variation of
a lever.
lever.
Okay, it's a variation of a lever. And it says a rope. A rope lies in the rim of the wheel, which is usually grooved to prevent it from doing what? Slipping off.
Slipping off.
And here we have the example of a pulley. So we can see the effort there is on the rope, and we have the load.
Sir,
And
it's
we especially, yes, this one, no, this one is a fixed pulley. Here it is. I'm talking about the little diagram that is to the right. Okay?
Yes, sir.
That one is fixed. The fixed pulley does not move. Okay?
Yes,
It
Yes,
says here,
sir.
the fixed pulley is securely fastened to an object. Right? It is commonly used to change the direction in which the force is applied. It does not increase the force exerted on it. So the example that we have at school would be the
Movable pulley.
no, not the movable one. The one on the flagpole. That's a fixed
Oh,
pulley.
fixed pulley.
Very
Yes.
good. Right?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
So let's go on. The movable pulley is attached to the load itself, right? So that's the big difference there. And sometimes we have pulley systems that might have a combination of those things. All right.
Yes, sir.
So let's go to the inclined plane now, right? An inclined plane is a sloping or slanting surface. It is higher at one end than the other. A ramp is a path going up a hill or a ladder leaning against a wall or some. These are some of the examples of the inclined plane, right? And we can use the inclined plane to raise a body which is too heavy to be lifted. So if we ever see people trying to get a barrel, a heavy barrel into a truck, they might put two pieces of board or a piece of board and roll the barrel onto that to get it into the truck or to get it from the truck. I was telling my class the other day that there was a man, a neighbor I had, he had a car, but the car was not working. And he wanted to get it from the house, couldn't start any at all, and, give it to his brother in the country.
Yes, sir.
I saw the gentlemen who were coming to collect the car in this big high truck. And I don't see the truck. It doesn't have any crane or anything to lift it up. And I'm laughing to myself and saying, how are they going to get this big heavy car up off the ground and into the truck? It just not going to work. They can't lift it up. And I saw them take out two pieces of board, and they had a chain. And they hook up the chain to the front of the car. And they take the little time, and they have a pulley in the back of the truck, and they take the little time and they pull it and they pull it and they pull it and they pull it, and it has a special ratchet system, right? And little by little they were able to lift that car using the pulley and the inclined plane formed by those two pieces of board, one under each wheel, and completely lift the car from the ground and raise it from
Onto
one
the
level,
truck.
from a lower level to a what? To a higher level, right? So it's important that we understand and we see in real terms how these things can be used right around us. Okay. So did you know that a ramp? Let's go back to school. You see over by grade 3,
Yes,
over
sir.
that new area that they worked on.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
notice
Yes,
that
sir.
there's a ramp for wheelchairs, not true?
Yes, sir.
That is an example of an inclined plane
Inclined
at
plane.
school, right? You know that your staircase is really kind of an inclined plane.
Yes,
Just that
sir.
Yes, sir.
it
But
is not totally smooth, right? It has steps that are cut into it. Okay?
yes, sir.
So we start at one level and we go to a higher level. All right. So let's go on now to what? What do we have on page 15? The top of page 15.
Wedges and screws.
All right. So we know that wedges and screws are variations of an inclined plane. All right. So it says two inclined planes back to back form a wedge.
Wedge.
A wedge is a simple machine that increases force.
Wedge.
For example, the blade of an axe moves forward into a piece of wood. It forces the wood to what? Split open. Right? So wedges are used for cutting and splitting and slicing and all of those things, right? The blade
Yes,
of a
sir.
knife or a machete, the tips of needles, these are examples of wedges.
Wedges.
Okay, now we go to screws. The thread of a screw is really an inclined plane, right? And you know,
Yes,
as
sir.
it goes forward, it increases the force and so on. Screws are used to hold things together tightly, right? They are also used for lifting and for digging. For example, if my car gets a puncture or the taxi driver gets a puncture on his way to school, one can lift up that car to change the tire. But with a simple what? Jack,
Machine.
right? The
Jack,
car
yes, sir.
jack has a what? Screw in there.
Screw.
And he can use that to lift the car. So you see that it's a simple machine that makes work what? Easier.
Easy.
All right. So we're going to move away now from the simple machines and we're going to go now to what? Complex machines. Now it says all 6 simple machines can be put together to make big machines.
Yes, sir.
Now, if a machine is made up of 2 or more simple machines working together, we call that a complex machine. So remember that definition, you know. A simple machine. No. Somebody now work with him, man. Come on. We have to stay still, people. Put the phone down one place, get a headphone, plug it in, and just listen. All right. All right, ready again. So let's go. So where were we now? So we said the definitions we have to pay attention to. 1, if we have one or few moving parts, then we know that it's a what? Simple machine. If we have many simple machines working together, 2 or more simple machines, then we are looking at this as a complex
machine.
So let's look now at the complex machine. Here we have a bicycle. The bicycle has levers for the brakes. We have the wheel and axle. We have the chain, which is a pulley. We have screws that hold things together. So we see many. Somebody has their camera on. We have many simple machines coming together to make up this one big machine that we call a what? A complex machine. All right, so we're going to move now from page 15 and we're going to go over to the unit review section and let's see if we can go quickly. All right. So let's go now. It says we need to answer each of the following questions on the spaces provided. So I'm going to start with a name. So we start with TC. Then,
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure who has Shernet's phone.
Yes, sir.
Kyle, all right, and then we go to Talia. So the first three would be TC, Kyle, and Talia. So TC,
Yes, sir.
what is? Hold a second for me, please. Yeah, are you guys hearing me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go. TC, what is the difference between a simple machine and a complex machine?
Sir, a simple machine is made up of one machine working, and a complex machine is made up of two or more machines working together.
All right, so that's a fair answer. What I
Yes,
have
sir.
is a simple machine has little or no moving parts, while a complex machine has two or more moving parts. So they're very close, right?
Yes,
So
yes, sir.
somebody's breathing heavily into their microphone, and that would be an acceptable answer. So we go over now to Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Kyle, name the parts of a lever. You ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, man. Tell me the parts. Not hearing you. Speak up for me.
Load.
Okay. Somebody's still breathing very heavily into the microphone. All right. So we have the effort, we have the fulcrum, and the load. So I like to say them in the same order as FLE 1, 2, 3. So I will start with fulcrum, load, and effort, so I can remember it. Rajay,
Turn
why
on
do
your
you?
camera.
Okay, so we say goodbye to Rajay. All right. Ready now. So here we go on now to the second part of the question. Talia, what is the function of each part?
Sir, the fulcrum is the point where the lever is supported and which it turns.
Yes, so the turning, the fulcrum is linked with the turning. Go ahead.
Sir, the load is the part that bears the weight to be
Okay, so the load is what we're trying to move then. That's another way of looking at that. And the effort now.
Sir, the effort is the part which the force is exerted or applied by pushing or pulling.
All right, fair enough. But that's good. Let's see who is next in the line. I said Darian and Mr. Allen. All right. So let's deal with Darian first. Darian, how may these parts of a lever be differently arranged? Are they always arranged the same way? Can they be arranged differently?
So they can be arranged differently because the fulcrum can be in the middle,
Okay.
the load can be in the middle, and the effort can also be in the middle.
All right. So, all right, since it is that you say so, could you give me an example of each? When the fulcrum is in the middle, give me an example of that.
Sir, what do you call that now? So I don't know the name. So like something with a hook.
Okay. We call that a crowbar.
Sir.
Call it a crowbar. All right, let me see. Do you know Milo? You know Milo?
Yes, sir.
Darian, you know Milo?
Yes, sir.
You ever see Milo in the tin yet?
Yes, sir.
You know Milo tin? I know
Yes,
you
sir.
young children only know the Milo in the pack. But Milo used to come in a tin, and you would have to use the knife to lift the tin. You're kind of using the knife as a crowbar,
So
right?
that's what the knife to do with the milk tin.
Oh, okay. All right. So something kind of like that, right? So the crowbar, is one type of lever. So where is the load in the middle now? Give me an example when the load is in the middle.
It's in the middle. Say for instance, it would be like a wheelbarrow.
All right, that's good. So we can accept the wheelbarrow. And finally, one with the effort in the middle.
So like if we're lifting a heavy piece of wood, sir, our hand would be in the middle, sir, and like a piece of iron on the edge of it or something.
I prefer the one with the shovel.
Yes, sir.
All right. So for the load in the middle, we're going to be using for the fulcrum in the middle, we use what? The crowbar. For the load in the middle, we use a wheelbarrow. And for the effort in the middle, we can use the shovel. Okay? All right, fair enough. Let's go now to Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, are you there? Talk, let's hear you. Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Allen. Look at question 4. It
Yes,
says,
sir.
Question 4, sir. When you lift a brick in the palm of your hand, maybe a piece of stone then, in the palm of your hand, your arm acts as a lever. Where on your arm would you find the following things? The fulcrum. So where does the turning take place? Remember when Talia was defining it, she said that the fulcrum is where the turning takes place. Where does the turning takes place if I'm lifting that brick in my using my arm?
It comes in the middle of the part of
Yeah,
your
man, but
arm,
where's the
sir.
middle? Yeah, man, where? Give me a name. Any name you want to give that part of your hand?
Sure, in the joint.
Anybody else wants to help him?
Sir,
Sir,
in the
your
joint.
elbow.
The elbow. Right. Elbow. That's where the what? A fulcrum would be. All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
going back to you, Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, what about
Yes, sir.
the force? Where would the force be?
Sir. Sir, right where your finger is.
No, sir.
Sir, can I help you?
Somebody tell.
The arm.
Say again. No, man, not your elbow.
The arm.
Anybody
sir.
else?
The arm.
No. I want something more specific.
Sir,
Anybody?
up where your muscle is.
Good. Where your muscle? Who is answering?
TC.
Okay. So your what type of muscle is that? Let's just think about the body and all of that.
Biceps.
Bicep.
Biceps. Very good. Now, even though we don't do muscular system in GSAT anymore, we still need to be aware of this. Skeletal muscles work antagonistically, meaning that they work against each other. So while one is doing something, the other will do the opposite of that. So take this for example. Right now, use your hand, lift up your hand, right, and form a muscle. You know, like when you want to raise rata, form up a muscle.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Now, when you squeeze that and you make those bicep muscles where the rata would be, right? When you make those tough, what happened to the ones at the back of your arm? How they feel? Anybody?
Sir,
How they feel?
They stretch out.
They stretch out. So while one is getting nice and short and curved, right? Good word. So while one is contracting, the other is relaxing. Now, if I am to do the opposite, if I am to lower my arm, what happens? The ones at the back, now they come together. but the ones at the top, the bicep muscles, they do the opposite. They are relaxing. So they work against each other. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
Yes,
let's move.
sir.
Let's jump ahead a little bit. I'm going to move away to now question 6. And let's see. Shernise, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Question 5.
All right. No, I'm going to jump. I'm not going to do everyone. Shernise, number 6. How can the inclined plane help to move objects?
Sir, because one side is higher than the other side, so it would be easier for you to just push it up.
Okay. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay. So I would prefer Shernise, if we said that how they can be used to help to move objects, they can raise the object from one level to the next. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we can use it to lift something from a lower level to a what? To a higher level,
Higher
or
level.
take it from a higher level to a
To
lower
a-
level.
So somebody summarize
Lower
on.
level.
Georgia's
Kyle.
camera.
No, Kyle.
All right. Don't worry, I have ejected the person. All right.
Yes.
So once you come in with your camera on, then I'm just going to have to eject you, because for privacy purposes, I cannot have you showing your background. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good. So let's move on now. Let me see. Question 7. Raquel, are you there, Raquel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Raquel, this one is for you. How do people use pulleys to do work?
Sir, like you lift it heavy load, sir, you use a hook, sir, and the top, sir. Sir, there's a circle thing, sir, that you just put the rug through, sir, you pull it, and it's the load. It makes
All
it
right.
easier.
Tell me. I am certain that you have seen pulleys in action. Can you give me an example of when you have seen a pulley in action?
Sir, say you want to lift a bag of, say you want to lift a bag of cement.
Yes.
You put it in another bag that you can hold the angle on, sir, and
Yes.
you put a rope through the top parts, and you
Yes.
pull it.
All right. You know where I've seen this, and I'm certain many of you have seen this. When
At
they are
school.
decking. No, when they are deck one house top.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Them
sir.
man them on the house top, ball out bucket,
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
and
right?
man, just pull it
And they're
pull it
pulling,
down to
right?
you.
And they're pulling the bucket, and it goes what? It goes up with the cement,
Upward.
right? While they are pulling down. So it changes the what? The direction of the force. So while they're pulling down, that force is going down, but the bucket is going where?
Up.
Oh. Sir,
We use it also when we're raising the flag. Not true?
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, one of them is at
Go ahead with that one again. Tell me.
school.
Okay. Where at school do we find that?
Sir,
Right at
like
the block.
when you go up the gate, sir, and in front, you can say in front of the car park when you
All
raise
right.
the flag, and one
Very
is at
good.
the grade 3.
Okay, very good. So we're well aware of where they are. All right. So I'm gonna skip again. I'm gonna go to number 9. A wheel and axle. We need to remember that the wheel by itself is not a simple machine. It's just a what? Roller. It is when the wheel is combined with the axle that it becomes a simple machine. True?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So let me see who is here. I don't know who is Roma.
Sir, it's Aki, sir.
Okay, Akeem. Let's see. Number 9. How can a wedge and a screw make work easier?
Sir, which page, sir?
Say again.
What's 16?
We're at page 16, number 9.
The unit ready.
Okay, sir.
Come, guys, we have to hurry. We have gone past our half-an-hour mark.
Yes, sir.
So Akeem, do you have an answer for that one? All right, so we need to help. We need to help out Akeem here. Anybody, tell me.
Sir,
I'm not certain who is answering. Tell me. All right. Tell me. Talia, go ahead. Not hearing you, Talia.
sir,
Sir, I
Yes.
wasn't speaking.
Okay, somebody, whoever was speaking, go ahead.
sir, you can use a wedge to, like when you're using, like when you chop some logs and you want to split the logs in two, you can use a wedge and use the axe and hit it and split the wood,
Okay.
sir.
All right. So just so we're clear, when we're yes, finish your thought.
Because the wedge and screws are variations of incline plane, sir, and what the incline plane does is, sir, it has a higher part, so it would be easier for it to like split the wood in two, sir.
Okay.
A wedge is like an inclined plane, but two of them meeting at an edge.
Two of them meeting back to back gives you that edge. All right. So let us transfer some of this to social studies now. What is happening in the northern hemisphere right now in terms of a season?
Winter.
Winter, exactly, winter. Now, there are many countries. One of the things about winter is that people need what for their houses, starting with H?
Heater.
Heat. They need heat. Now,
Yes,
some
sir.
places they have heat. They get the heat from steam. So they have a boiler in the basement and you get the steam. Some people have, like
A
with
fireplace.
cabins, they have a fireplace. And in that fireplace, sometimes they need to put pieces of wood. All right.
Yes, sir.
So they go outside, they find trees, but they can't take up the whole tree and carry it inside. So they have to cut it. They have to cut it into smaller pieces. Now the tool that is often used is an axe.
Wedge.
So you see the axe head. The axe head itself is a wedge. So it has a very thin part that would be just like a blade. And the thicker part, the fur, it tapers out, right? And the thicker part now would help to split the wood. Now, sometimes you can get another little piece of board or something that has the same shape, and then you can, knock that into the log, and it will help to split it. So the wedge is especially useful for splitting things.
So like you were saying, you can put something between the logs, sir.
Right.
Like
Yes.
it helps it.
Good. So that is called a wedge. That little
Yes,
thing that
sir.
you're going to put there. Give me another example of a wedge. Sometimes we use it at home.
Knife.
Yes. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about the one that you use for the door.
Yes, sir.
The door stop is in the form of a wedge.
Wedge.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And it's slope, that's why it says that it's an incline plane.
Say again. Well, it's one half of the wedge. So it has
Yes,
that shape.
sir.
If we were to put
Have a
both of
seat,
them
sir.
together, then we would get the axe
perfect
head.
wedge.
Right, we'll get the axe head.
Perfect wedge.
All right. So the door stop is really half of it. But the
Yes, sir.
the needle would also be a what? A needle, a wedge. Your knife, wedge.
A wedge.
The fork,
A wedge.
wedge. Right. So all of those things. Yeah, man, because you use the fork to push
Anything
between
that
things.
has a blade.
Anything that has a blade. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's
Yes,
go on
sir.
now. So we're going to go on now to question 10. Question 10. What kinds of simple machines are the following? So let me go back home. I haven't heard from Corey. Is she here still?
Okay.
No, I don't see her.
Not
All right.
sure.
So what about 10? I number 1, not I. 1. What's that?
Wedge.
The hammer.
Wedge,
Wedge.
sir.
Mm,
Sir, the back of it.
good.
Back.
What about the crow part of it? That little part you can use it to pull things like the nail. That
Yes,
little
sir.
Yes,
the
yes,
claw,
sir.
not
That's like
claw, the claw.
yes, sir.
So that part of
Yes,
it,
sir.
we can use that like a what? A lever, not true?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So what about 2? The egg beater. That has a what?
Wheel and axle.
Wheel and axle and what?
Oh,
And gears.
gears.
Yes, wheel, axle, and gears. What about the scissors?
Wedge.
Yes, we have the wedge there because we have the what? The blades of the scissors acting as a wedge. All right.
Yes.
All right.
They have
So
the load in the middle.
very good. So I'm gonna skip now. I'm gonna skip, and we're going to go to question 12. It says, give the names of 2 of any simple machines used in your home.
Sir, a scissors.
Good. I'll
A
take
knife.
scissors. A knife, yes.
Sir, a hammer.
Yes, Hakeem, go ahead.
A hammer.
A hammer. All right. Good. What about needle? When the tail of the skirt, the hem of the skirt, and we need to fix that, girls, then we can use the what? The needle. All right. What about at school?
Pencil.
Flagpole.
Sir,
No,
sir,
not
I
the
have the
flagpole.
sharpest,
No,
sir.
No,
not the
sir. No,
flagpole.
sir.
What on the flagpole?
The
The
pulley.
thing, sir.
The pulley,
Pulley,
right?
yes, sir.
So the pulley.
Sir, we have the sharper, sir, the blade in the
Yes. The blade is in the sharp. No, yes.
Sir, the
We have the.
pencil.
How is the pencil?
Because it's a
Sir, the
lever.
point.
edge.
No, but when I'm writing, I'm not really using the point that way. So I wouldn't use that one.
Okay, sir.
I
Spears.
don't want you to use the pencil as a simple machine because that means you're trying to stab somebody with it, and we don't want that because you're going to get suspended. Alright.
Yes,
So
sir.
what about the staircase?
Yes, sir.
What
That's what I have.
right? What about the ramp over by grade 3?
Yes, sir.
All right, things like that. All right. So let me check on the time.
Yes,
It's
sir.
9 o'clock.
Oh,
All right, so we have to stop now. So we're just going. Yeah, man, we have to stop now. People need to get their good rest. So
Yes, sir.
last one we'll look at is question 13. Yes, sir. And we want to look at the different classes of levers here. So
I
Shanice,
can answer the first
let's.
one.
I'm gonna have you answer this the C, but let's hear from Shanice. Shanice, what is A? What type of lever is A?
First class.
Why is it a first class lever?
Sir, because the fulcrum is in the middle.
Excellent. Shanice, what about B? What type of lever is B?
Second class.
Why is that so?
Sir, because the load is in the middle.
Okay. So Raquel, what about C?
It's a second class lever.
Why is it a second class lever?
Sir, because the load is
The load is in the
middle.
Talia, let's go
Yes, sir.
to D. What type of lever is D?
So it's a third class lever.
Excellent. All right, guys, we have spent almost 45 minutes here. So this was longer than I anticipated, but you can finish up the unit You can finish up
Yes,
the
sir.
unit for yourself. And for the next episode, we'll be looking at
Yes,
unit
sir.
3, where we look at what? Air and water. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
All
we
right.
have
Thank you guys for joining.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please finish up the unit, get your rest, and we'll see. Oh, and by the way, guys, tomorrow is mock exam 3. All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
mock exam 3 tomorrow. Come prepared with your pencils and ruler and sharpener and everything. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So take care. All the best. See you guys tomorrow.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye.